Welcome back to part 3. My biggest issue with part 3 is there's a lot of lessons, but that's alright. This is the new design. I mentioned in my last video how I was going to do this whole bar thing and this, that, and the other thing, but it involved me having to buy like jack stands and whatever. The idea is you always need to park the trailer on flat ground. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So this is the math I came up with. These are kind of quick numbers. Here's the original ramp coming down. That's the top where the trailer's at. This is where the ground's at. Or from here down is about 41 inches roughly. I'm going to be cutting a bar here at 13 on the tall end and at a 10-degree angle. And same here, but do 11 inches on the long end. And then here it's going to be 14 inches. And I'm going to just take that and then weld it onto the bottom of each one of these ramps. So you're probably asking yourself, Spark, how did you come up with those numbers? Pretty easy. I'll show you. I laid the ramp down here, connected to the trailer. I measured it at this measurement right up at this top is 27 inches to the ground. I made sure that the trailer was level. Then I took my tape measure because I like solid numbers. I don't like dealing so much with fractions. And I just took this and just kind of went until it said 15 inches, right roughly where I want to put the support. And I found it to be right there. And then I came over here to where it says 13 inches, which is right there. And I said, all right, looks good to me. And that's how I came up with those numbers. Now it's a good thing I came out here to tell you what's up, because I realized it's on my short end is where the 15 inches is. It's got to be cut 15 up. I was saying 15 here. Good call. Off to cutting metal.
It's the money. It's the money, it's the money, it's the money, yeah. It's the money, it's the money, it's the money, yeah. It's the money. It's the money, it's the money, it's the money, yeah. It's the money, it's the money, it's the money, yeah. It's the money. Money.
So I do hard pack removal, and a big issue that I'm having right now is it rained here in January. Can you believe it? It rains in Alaska in the middle of winter. Well, it did, and it's making hard pack removal really difficult. It actually makes it so you can only scrape off what landed on top of that ice. Here's an example of how thick the ice is. It's like 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick, and you can't break this. I've been trying to get the blade under it some way or another. Thankfully it's been super warm and the sun's been doing most of the work, but it's tough. You know, typically hard pack type snow, it breaks different. You can cut through it, but this stuff it's tough stuff. So I messed up. I totally forgot to film what I was doing today. I finished off these supports. Instead of doing the bar that I said I was gonna do, I decided to really just beef up the whole plan and make these pedestals here that go under there. Now when that machine drives up, it's gonna be solid. This is 3/16 square tube. It's pretty stout. Also, I beveled all the edges, so when I went to go do a weld, I did multi-pass weld, really just fused it in really nice and strong, turned the heat up as high as I could get. Seems like it worked out really well. Right now, they're kind of frozen into the ground. Oh, I guess not. So the whole idea with these, I was going to weld them to the bottom of this, but it's gonna make these ramps incredibly heavy. And I gotta pick them up and put them in and take them out and do all that jazz. So what I'm gonna do is I cut out a bunch of C-channel and I'm going to weld it to the top here that actually cups this pretty well. And I'm just going to weld that in there, and then depending on the varying of the ground and where that lays, I can just put these at the highest end and then slide them into where they need to be. Just the weight of the skid steer alone will just kind of lock it to where it needs to be. And that way it'll be nice and firm. Also, I ordered some jacks that I'm going to weld that go right here, so I can jack down and sturdy up this back end here. Issue I have is when I load the skid steer on, it really lifts up and then drops the front down and picks up the rear end of my truck basically. And I want this to be a nice solid structure driving up. So the people that know me know I'm incredibly particular about my paint and bodywork, and how I like to have a nice truck at all times, or a nice vehicle at all times. While I was picking up metal, look what happened. The guy who was assisting with loading it, let's see if I can get some sunlight, hit it right here, which is a bummer. Really bums me out. It's a brand new truck, can't be having that. They said they're gonna fix it. Well, their insurance is gonna fix it. I'm not just having some backwoods guy go and fix that. No, I want this done professionally. They tried to talk me out of it too, which that does not fly in my radar. I paid too much money for this, and I paid too much money for my insurance, and I just paid too much money and worked too hard for stuff like this. I am not allowing them to just try to write me off and say, hey, just deal with it, you'll be fine. I don't care for that. The manager actually said, you know, if you're going to be hauling steel in a brand new truck, it's expected to get dings and dents. And I told him that's not expected at all. Professionalism is what's to be expected, not damage to my property. Anyways, that's the update for what's going on. Stay tuned for more. I got a job coming up in a couple days. Actually, I got jobs all over the place. Hopefully I can film all that stuff and not forget my camera like I did today. All right, see you guys later.